Lick the Spoon podcast with Jayme and Beth. We're back at it.
Yes, we are having another conversation.
Always. Like, when do we not have conversations? Pretty much all the time because we don't see each other often. And I'm not going to call you because I feel like I'll just save it up for when we get together again.
Yeah, and I never talk to people on the phone, like very rarely.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not your thing?
I guess not.
I used to be a way bigger talker on the phone, or like, because I had a really long commute. So it was like a 40-minute commute in a town that like to go somewhere far is 20 minutes. So it was a lot. So that was my time. I would talk to people. And when I lived, I talked a lot when I lived in South Korea. I would Skype people for like an hour because I think I was just lonely and bored.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know.
I feel like I used to talk on the phone more, but now I feel my time with podcasts or listening to my book, or I do like Marco Polo, just like a quick,
I like that
short video, send to a friend, or WhatsApp messages. Like I do that with friends. That's,
Yeah. If I see someone calling me and I know it's like a 35-minute person, because you see that name, you're like, that's 35 to 45 minutes. So I got to know if I'm ready to just take that on. And sometimes I'm like, yeah. And then I clean my house.
Right.
Or I just stare out a window. Or sometimes I pace. I get my steps in.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of times it's just like after the 15-minute mark, I'm bored and I want to be done and I want to go play a game or look at TikTok. And I found that if you try to look at TikTok while on the phone with someone, it is not appreciated. So
surprise.
I try not to. Any hoot nanny. So this is a big week for me. This is going to be my birthday week.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. What day is your birthday?
It's the 10th of December.
So that is right around the corner.
Right around the corner. So yeah, I don't know. It is a Friday, I think, this year, which is kind of a big deal.
I'm trying to look it up on the calendar right now.
Yeah.
It is a Friday.
It's a Friday, which, Friday birthdays are the best. Especially for a December birthday, because it's a little rough out here I'm not even that close to Christmas, but I'm close enough that growing up, it was a lot of joint gifts or like, here, happy birthday in a Christmas card. I'm like, that's inappropriate.
Yeah.
My grandpa, who's 103, he used to make all of his own Christmas and birthday cards. He'd like make them in like some Microsoft Word program, and then he'd print them out and fold them in these little cards. I don't know. They're like very, 1996. But he'll make me a card, and one year he made me a Christmas card, and he just put a big like don't sign on it, like the red circle with this thing.
Yeah.
And on this I just said, happy birthday, Beth. I was like, Grandpa, I like the effort, but I'm going to need a real birthday card. Like, I don't want anything Christmas on my card. So it's always kind of like, it always is kind of right there. That's why I usually don't put my Christmas tree up until after my birthday. And it's a whole thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I literally would not let my parents do it growing up. They would want to put Christmas up. I would say, absolutely not till after my birthday. So I'm like, you guys get 2 weeks of Christmas. You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, it does kind of, it's like it kind of competes with it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have a child whose birthday is December 8th. And my husband and my other son, their birthday's November 30th. So November 30th for both of them. And then like a week later is my other child. And then 2 weeks later, it's Christmas. So
that's a lot right there. That's a lot of holiday.
It is a lot.
And it sucks because it's all right together. It's like, like mid-year, you want a present.
I know.
It's like...
Well, and like, because so, for example, Thanksgiving weekend, family was in town. So we kind of like tag on a birthday party because they're here. And they're not going to come back in a week, to celebrate a birthday. And so it does kind of all get smushed together. But I have tried to have distinct birthday gifts and distinct Christmas gifts because...
Absolutely. With appropriate wrapping paper, because there's nothing worse than like happy birthday and it's like, why is Santa on here?
You know what? I'm terrible. Okay. I gave my kids their birthday presents in the cardboard boxes that they came in Amazon. I know.
That's fine.
I know.
I know. They're a little older.
I know. Okay. But still, it was just too much with everything else going on. I was like, and I didn't have any wrapping paper. And I was like, do they really care?
Yeah.
I think Karis will care. But the boys didn't care.
Yeah.
I don't think. They just cared about what was inside.
Exactly. Well, a box is still something you get to open.
Yes.
That's key.
And actually, we put a box inside another box.
So there you go. You're okay there. But yeah, it's kind of rough. Like, again, having that December birthday. And this year, it's like, last year I turned 40, which was a big year. And it was like peak COVID. So it's like, I looked back at it and I got like, it was an amazing birthday. Like 40 was an amazing birthday. I was planning
to throw... Is this the birthday that I completely spaced on?
Yes.
That's
okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
Well, I'm sorry for myself too, because I was so mad that because I didn't write it down.
I know,
and then
it happens.
I know, I hadn't written it down. And then the day came and went, and dates are horrible for me. If I don't write it down,
it doesn't exist.
I just didn't remember. And then it was like the next day or something. And I was like, wait, I think it was Beth's birthday, like, because you had like a drop in, right?
I had it where, I did like a Zoom call because it was 2020, so it's Zoom Nation.
Yeah,
but then people just stopped by all day, and it was the sweetest day because I had like coworkers stop by and friends stop by and family stop by, and I just kept getting flower deliveries. I'm like, I felt bad. Because I sent out an email telling people, hey, it's my 40th. I'm by myself. It's been COVID. Come celebrate with me. Send me a card. And I've always been one to ask for a gift. Flashback. I think I was turning 17 and I invited all these people to a party at my house, and it said gifts strongly suggested. You know how other people are like, gifts not required? They say no pressure. No, gifts strongly suggested. Every person brought a gift. I opened presents for like an hour straight.
Oh my God.
It was ridiculous.
I bet that was super fun.
It was. And then somebody stole one of the gifts, and I'm like, you all are horrible. I know who it is. And if you're listening, I know it was you who took my lip gloss from Bath and Body. Anyway, so it was the whole thing. But 2020 was really good. It was so nice to just like, it was such an outpouring. Like I had like all these cards up around my house, and I just felt very loved. And now it's like 41, and I'm just like, wah, wah, wah. Like, it's not a big year. It's like been another like horrible year of, pandemic stuff. So it's just like, I don't even know what I'm going to do this year. Like, I thought I was going to do a road trip from here to Texas. That's not going to happen now. I thought I was going to go travel. I really want to go to Sedona and just like go on like a retreat. That's not happening now. So it's just like, I don't even know. So I might do a dinner or something, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, getting older, your birthdays kind of just stink, especially if you don't have a partner to like celebrate you, because like nobody cares. I mean, I don't mean that in a mean way, but it's like, and obviously people outpour if they can, but nobody's going to take the time necessarily to like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw Beth a 41st birthday party just because, because we all have busy lives, and it's not that I expect that, but a partner helps in that.
And it does, but also like, what would that look like?
I don't know. I know.
Because
everybody bring me 41 things.
Because
yeah, I don't know what you do for 41.
I'm trying to remember when I did, because I turned 41 this year.
Yeah. What did you do? You went camping or something.
I'm trying to remember.
I feel like you were going on a camping trip.
Oh, yes. That's what we did. Yes, it was fun. And I went with Tony.
Yeah. And but that's hard, because I'm like, I'm going to go do a solo road trip.
Right.
Like, I'm going to get murdered. So not really. Anyway, but that is how I expect to pass away. Like, one night I was getting ready for bed, and I was just like, you know what? Out of all my friends that might get murdered, it's probably going to be me. I'm like, I think I'm okay with that. I'm like, what is wrong with you? And then I just
That's a terrible thought.
I know, but I was just like, I'll take one for the team.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
you're crazy.
Maybe, I know. I was like, well, maybe hopefully nobody in our circle will be murdered. And I was like, we'll just see.
Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah. Knock on wood. There we go. So.
Okay, well, I'm gonna write this down. That it's your birthday.
It's like that it's your turn. I was gonna say you're right. Beth is gonna be murdered.
I don't want to forget.
So any hootenanny. So yeah. So typically my birthday.
Why are you saying any hootenanny? What is that?
Any hootenanny? So that is from my mom's side of the family. Yeah, it's slang, but not like from the side of my family that is cool. And so it's like
I love it.
It's like hootenanny and holy Toledo, I just
Are
say
they from Minnesota?
They're from Wisconsin. They're Wisconsinites, and Montana.
Is that close to Minnesota?
It's Midwest.
Because I listened, did I tell you this last time you said something with an accent? Because I listened to this book that had a narrator from Minnesota, and she had a very strong Minnesotan accent. And
yeah, the flat vowels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it just comes out.
Yeah.
But my family, like my grandpa's from Wisconsin from my mom's side, and my grandma was from Montana. So I don't know.
You know what? My kids tell me that I sound different when I talk to my family.
Oh, I'm sure.
They say I sound Canadian, which I'm sure I do.
Yeah. Hey.
when I talk to them.
I used to hang out hardcore with some Canadians in Canada, in South Korea. So they were like, I only hung out with Canadians, and it was fun. Yeah. It's weird because you're kind of like Americans, but you're not.
I know.
So it's just this weird, like, similar references, but not. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. And they were from Quebec, which is like a whole nother thing,
I guess. It's like its own thing. Yeah.
No, they were from New Brunswick.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a whole different thing. Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah. So that was that was a trip. So anyway, so yeah, birthday.
I feel like we might need to make a plan.
I know. I need to do something or I'm going to sit here depressed on a Friday.
Yeah. No, that's not good. We're going to, when we're done this, we're going to talk about that more further.
Yeah. I want to go dancing, but it's again.
I want to go dancing.
It's COVID. So it's just like.
Why don't we dance outside?
Because it'll probably be cold. And I don't want to be, cold, I know. I don't want to be the women that get dressed up in flowy clothes, stand outside under the moon and dance. That's just not who I want to be yet. When we're 52, absolutely.
Okay.
Anywho, sorry. I can't with any hootenanny. I think
I'm not saying it right.
No, any
hootenanny.
Okay. It's any hoot. You got to go hoot.
Any hoot.
A nanny.
A nanny.
Any hootenanny.
Any hootenanny.
There you go. You just got to press your tongue up.
Okay, so then after your birthday is right into Christmas.
Yes. So what's the plan? I don't know what the plan is, but I don't know. I love Christmas in the sense of like the stuff that I love Christmas in the sense of like the stuff that we did growing up. Like which is it's weird now cuz like all of my childhood stuff that's Christmassy is like boxed up in some storage unit with my mom and like I don't have access. But I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, you know what? There are just a few scents. There's a few things that just automatically trigger the holiday season for me. And we used to have this candle and it was a giant red candle from Amway because my grandma sold Amway back in the day. And it was a 3 carolers and it just had this really interesting smell to it. And you'd open it up every Christmas. You'd put it on like our little mantle and you'd look at it.
Yeah.
You'd never light it.
Okay.
You never, not touch it too much because you don't want to, put a finger indent in it or anything. And that was Christmas to me, a smelly old Amway candle.
So is that candle still around?
I'm sure because my mom is a super pack rat and I can't imagine her getting rid of it.
So are you going to like find it?
No, it's like in her storage unit that's been packed up for 10 years. So no, I will not find it.
Okay.
There's a lot of that stuff that's just kind of gone, but I've tried to make my own Christmas memories. Like my biggest thing is like Christmas Eve. I always watch Die Hard.
Beth, you do?
Always watch Die Hard. I get some, non-dairy eggnog, which is not great, but we go for it. And then I watch Die Hard and look at my tree and just sit here and just enjoy. And and nothing rings in Christmas like Die Hard.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's the only time of year I watch it, and it just feels very like majestic and wonderful to me.
Well, that's a great show. It's a classic.
It's a classic, and there's a huge debate over it's a Christmas movie or not. I say it is. Others will debate me, and I'm going to say you're wrong. It is clearly a Christmas film. One of the best.
I have not seen that in years. I'm going to need to watch that.
It's so good to watch on yours because it's a little bit of spunk and a little bit of like murder and it's just great.
What's the guy in it? Because I really like
Bruce Willis.
Yes.
Yeah. My dad actually hated Bruce Willis, and one time for his birthday, I made him a shirt that said "I love Bruce Willis."
Did he ever wear it?
And I think he wore it a few times, but his face when he opened that shirt, he was not impressed, but he loved it all the same. So anyway,
that's a hilarious.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. So anyway, Bruce Willis. So those are my main traditions: smelling weird candles and watching Die Hard.
Do you have a traditional meal every Christmas or no?
No, I think growing up, we had raisin sauce and ham. Have you ever had raisin sauce?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I have not either. It's always just been on the table and I've never tasted it.
Oh,
but it's
really?
like it's part of the tradition. Like there's some food that's just need to be on the table to feel like the holiday.
Did anybody eat it?
Yeah, like my mom's side, like they would eat it and stuff. And we eat a lot of lefse, which is like a Norwegian like potato flatbread. It's like a big tortilla, but it's made out of wheat and potatoes.
Do you have Norwegian?
So yeah, I'm Norwegian on one side. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, ufta. To all my other Norwegians out there, that's the only bit of Norwegian I know. But yeah.
I didn't know that was a Norwegian thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm going to cook you up with some lefse because it's so good and it's just delicious and it's a little sweet and a little tangy. Maybe not tangy, but it's delicious. But it's hard to find. But you usually can get it from, so a lot of Lutherans around here have Norwegian background. And so you'd always have a lefse lady at church that you buy from. And then our lefse lady passed away. So then I had to order it from like this place in Wisconsin to like send you the authentic
Really?
lefse.
Are you going to do that?
I did it last year, so I think we still have some packages. But no, not going to do it again. Not for a while. It was like super expensive. I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, is it worth $80 for some lefse? I was like, absolutely. Absolutely.
I guess
so
it
good.
Depends, but
yeah,
wow.
So lefse, raisin sauce, some ham, those all had to be on the table for it to feel like a holiday.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? What was like, because you were like Belize.
I know. And I don't know, like my childhood, I don't feel like we had a ton of traditional things. I think probably turkey, but even that I actually don't know.
I just thought it was like a blank.
I know. I'm like, here we go with my memory again. My terrible memory. But I feel like I remember when we intentionally decided as my family with my husband and what we wanted to do and make a tradition. And we did that right from when we first got married. And so that's been like the last 18 years, right? And so we decided that we wanted to do steak and crab. And so we do steak and crab, and we usually do some potatoes and salad. But like there's a family crab recipe with vermouth. I don't know. Tony does it. It's my favorite holiday meal because Tony does the crab. So I don't have to do that. And because I don't love to be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And so he does that. And then if we're with my brother-in-law, he'll do the steak. And he's really good at that. And so it's just a really easy, kind of simple meal, but it's delicious. And it's the only time we ever have crab. And so, well, at least like that we eat in our home.
Yeah.
And so...
well, it's kind of a pain, honestly.
It's a pain and it's expensive. And so anyways, now some of the kids are starting to eat it too. And I'm like...
okay, I have a funny crab story. And by funny, I mean sad. So like growing up... we always had this one hors d'oeuvre at holiday meals, and it was a Ritz cracker, a piece of imitation like flake crab meat, which I think is cod, that's been smushed together with some red food coloring, and then a little strip of American cheese. You put it in the microwave and you eat it. It is one of the just trashiest appetizers ever. Delicious. But I had never had real crab before. I'd only had imitation. So I go to like Lobster Fest with somebody at the Red Lobster.
Okay.
And it was Crab Fest. And they all these crab legs. And then we're, cutting through and eating the crab meat. And it was good, but I'm like, it doesn't taste right. It doesn't taste like real crab meat. All I thought of was the imitation crab meat. That's all I want. So even now, if I'm like, I'm craving crab, imitation crab.
Yeah.
Okay. It was very sad.
That's so funny.
It's so sad.
Actually, it's not bad. And I should maybe get that sometimes.
No, I would not recommend it. No, I mean, it's not bad. It's not good. You know what I mean? Like, you're not like, you know what I want? A buttery piece of imitation crab flake in some, butter and salt in my mouth. No.
Well, we also have a traditional breakfast that we do on Christmas. And so I adopted that one from my brother when he came and had Christmas with us one year. And they made it. And I was like, oh, I need to do this again. So they shared that recipe with me. It's a breakfast casserole, but it's delicious. And we have that with cinnamon rolls and fruit salad.
We do fruit salad and cinnamon rolls. Yeah.
It's so good. So that's kind of, as far as traditions go, I think the main ones have to do with food. I usually growing up, we could open one gift on Christmas Eve. And so that's another tradition that we have continued. And it's with me and my children, it's always pajamas. And so, or something related to that, like a robe or something. So,
yeah, we used to do one package on Christmas Eve, which was, it really helped to like alleviate the stress and the anxiety. Cause I got real excited. I got real excited at Christmas, like to another level. I'd wake up at, 5 a.m. Ready to go.
Oh yeah.
We literally have pictures of my dad sleeping on the couch with his stocking just hanging from his like finger because the kids were up so early and forced him out of bed. Like my parents I think they probably finally said like 7 a.m. or something, but yeah, it was a whole thing. That was like one of my favorite traditions, like waking up really early.
Yes.
And just like ripping into it. And then my parents, they always did a really good job of like, spoiler alert, like being like making sure we didn't sneak our packages early and stuff. And like, let me take that back. My parents always... Actually, they did a horrible job at that.
Oh.
Like one year I opened all the presents under the Christmas tree.
So why did you say that?
Well, because I was going to say something else, but like now I realize I need to cut it because like what if a kid's listening and they're like, oh my gosh. So Christmas morning, we'd wake up really, really early. And then we'd always have like our Santa gifts and stockings. And then my parents would give us gifts when we open our family gifts and stuff. And then they'd always like have a big gift for us, but they would always disguise it. And they're like, oh, here's a present for the cats or something. And we'd open it and always be so shocked that it was really like a Nintendo and I'd just be so excited. But
oh my gosh. I remember one year when I was a kid, I snooped and I found our gift and they had hidden it inside a suitcase underneath the stairs in the basement. I mean, it was well hidden and I found it and then I, zipped that thing back up and put it back the way I found it and kept that secret inside. That was torturous up until Christmas. It was terrible. I felt so guilty. I felt so bad. I felt like I was such an actress as I was pretending to be surprised and it was terrible. I hated that I did that and it wasn't even fun.
Yeah, ruined the surprise.
Totally ruined it. So I never did it again.
I had something similar happen with my brother. So my aunt one year sent us a ton of gifts. Like it was so generous, but they were all over the tree before Christmas and we were latchkey kids. So our parents weren't home. And I was like, Jake, you want in on this. And so I decided I was going to open all the presents and he was like my person. Well, my mom worked in sales. So she would come home sometimes sporadically. So he would sit in the window, like looking out, he was the lookout, and I would carefully slice all the tape. We laid out like different types of masking tape or scotch tape so that we could like retape them. Cause some tape is clear and some has a frost. We had it all laid out. I'd sliced open. I like slid all the packages that we opened every single gift and then repackaged them.
My goodness.
You couldn't tell. It was amazing. It was like the biggest heist ever, but it was very disappointing because it's like Christmas morning. There was like nothing to be excited. We already knew.
You already
so it's just like,
Nope. How old were you? Do you know?
I must have been in like 6th or 7th grade, or maybe, I was probably that age. And my little brother is like in elementary school, so it would just felt so the adrenaline rush.
Oh, in that moment?
Oh my gosh, because it was like anytime mom could get here, and it was just like I was in Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
and it was, and I think we did it. It took multiple days to open all the gifts, and it was goodness. It was like Even now, I'm a little bit like, that was a high. So anyway, that was my life in crime.
I love Christmas though, and my kids are so excited about it. That makes it really fun too. So, but right now I'm trying to get my list.
I'm done.
Want everything done. You are?
Yeah, I was done. Close. I was done right before Thanksgiving. Like I did this year. I did advent calendars for everybody, pretty much. So it's like everybody got an advent calendar, or some other people got smaller gifts. But it was great because one day I was just like, I'm going to do this thing, and so I like got everything done, like 100% finished. Like
that's amazing.
Everything is actually like was wrapped and ready to go. Like
that's amazing.
Everything's been shipped. I mean, it was like, I was so on it. I was like, I'm amazing. Again, my adult level has really just stepped up. Like,
good for you.
I don't know what happened in my life, but now I'm like, I'm killing it.
Yeah. I mean, that's very, well, and having that done, you can just have a chill.
Oh, yeah, because it was like all through Thanksgiving, all through like Cyber Monday, all through Black Friday, all of the big shopping pushes and just that stress of like, oh my gosh, I haven't even started yet. I didn't even have it at all during any of the holiday season.
Yeah.
Like I think I actually did it all right after, before Halloween. Like it was wild how early I got it done. I don't know, man.
Good for you. Oh, hey, I have another tradition.
Yes.
That Tony and I do. We wrap presents together and watch a Christmas movie.
That's sweet.
Like one night before Christmas, once we actually have all of our gifts. So that's
a sweet one. I like that. My best friend, she and her husband every year go Black Friday shopping together for their kids' Christmas gifts. And I just think it's such a cute little date night. And it used to annoy me because I'm like, I want to hang out with you. You're in town. But they're like, hey, we're going shopping. And I don't know. I just think it's so cool that they always prioritize their relationship, even in the midst of like the chaos of the holidays. So
I cannot imagine my husband going shopping with me on Black Friday.
Yeah. Well, and it's changed.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. It's changed.
Well, he doesn't like shopping at all. So I just tell him, I think we should get all this stuff. And then he's like, okay. And then I buy it all.
He's like, I'm good for it. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I hope this year it's like, I hope my birthday is litty. Like, I hope we do something amazing. Even if it's just like 5 girls coming to my house with a charcuterie board and just like laughing and wine.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. It's awkward because like all of my friend groups, they don't all overlap. They're all over. They don't overlap, any of them. Like none of them are friends with each other.
Right. I'd like to meet some of them though. I mean,
they're a trip.
I can overlap.
Yeah.
If you can handle it.
No, it's fine. It's just like we're never going to organically just get together. Like it's never going to happen. But I thought, okay, if I just get a mix of ladies and then just maybe have a little baby like birthday party for myself and then just like roll into the holidays and just be real chill. And there you have it, another episode of Lick the Spoon. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all of our latest episodes. And don't forget to follow us on Lick the Spoon Podcast on Instagram.